Double episode.
Double episode. Yeah, I think we've only done this once or twice before, I feel like.
Maybe once?
Certainly once we've done it. I remember we doing it once specifically, but...
I've got to have 2 pre-shows, 2 post-shows, 2 what's goods.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to be tough.
I mean, one of the what's goods could just be talking about how you don't have anything good because it's the same day as the last episode.
Nothing has changed in 1 hour. Hopefully less than an hour.
Howdy, it's Wednesday, June 12th, 2024, and this is episode 230 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City podcast. I'm Kyle Askin, joined as always by Craig Stone. What's good, Craig?
I have to say, what's very good is the sheer amount of effort that you have put into the agenda of the episodes that we're recording today.
Maybe episode 231 I've put more effort into, but I guess I rearranged some stuff on the Google Doc, which is way more than I usually do.
Right. I mean, I had a whole plan. It didn't really make much sense. I was stressed about it because I was like, these don't seem like very well weighted episodes. And then you went in like a good editor, rearranged everything, and then I was like, this structure is excellent. So
what can I say?
Nice work. Thank you very much.
I do like that we always have to talk about anytime I do any work on the podcast. It's just so surprising. And my work was like copy and pasting 2 things and putting together like a bit of an agenda for the next episode, which you'll all hear in a couple weeks, I guess.
That's a sign that you have a good job. If you do the bare minimum, then you just get like heaps of praise.
Right.
It's the best. You set the bar at 0, and then it's very easy to get over it. True with gift giving for significant others, too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really important to keep that in mind. We have an always, once, never.
Mm-hmm.
Sticking with the slot theme, because last episode we talked about some different types of slots. This one I think is more general categories of slots, probably more what you were thinking about when you were thinking of an always, once, never for slots.
Mm-hmm.
So the categories I have are old school quarter 3-reel slots, cherries and sevens and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
True penny slots, so like old Buffalo machines. I mean, obviously not as old as 777s, but old tube screens where you can actually play 1 line, 1 penny. Seal the Deal, even though Seal the Deal you can't find anywhere.
I did play old school Buffalo. That was a true penny slot in Blackhawk, which we'll talk about in episode 231, I guess. Actually, we won't talk about that because nothing happened. I just had 21 cents left over. So
yeah. Things like Stinkin' Rich, I feel like you see. Jackpot Party. These are great slots. They're really important. You sort of hinted at it when you have that 13-cent voucher.
One of those just awful machines that don't give you the chance to win another spin.
Oh, yeah. The lucky spin or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The last chance spin. Yeah. Every machine should have the last chance spin.
It should.
They were talking on You Can Bet on That about how every machine should just have an option to donate the remainder.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I don't want... Yeah, I just want the last chance spin.
Selfishly, I want the last chance spin. I do not want it to go to feed hungry children, cure any diseases. Just straight to the last chance spin.
Yep.
It's either mine or it's the casino's.
The only 2 entities that truly matter in the world.
Right, correct. All dollars should be going to one of these 2 things.
Uh-huh.
And then the last thing, modern licensed slots. And so this is like the big machines with movies or TV shows. You know, Willy Wonka, Walking Dead, 007, Crazy Rich Asians is a popular one. Sex and the City used to be. I don't really see that anymore. Wonder Woman, of course. Little Shop of Horrors is a big one now. Playboy. I think you count like Playboy, Monopoly. You know, they're licensed, right?
They're licensed. Yep.
Now I feel like it's going more toward all the like Lynx and Buffaloes and stuff. But for a while, these were like the slots that were drawing the penny slot players in. And really, the big difference between these and the true penny slot machines is that instead of a quote-unquote 1 cent denomination spin being able to be as low as 1 cent, you're baselining at like 60 or 75 cents or something like that for every spin. So what do you think? Which one of these are you doing every single trip? Which one of these are you doing once more and never again? And which one of these is going into the ocean?
So I think there's like some structural problems with this question, specifically with these options, because the thing is, I don't care about true penny slots. They're just very convenient to have when I have a 21 cent ticket.
Right, correct. I never actually want to play a true penny slot.
I mean, I think they have to go into the ocean because, like, once more gives me nothing, because I'm sure there's going to be tens of times more, at least, in my life that I'm going to have, like, a 17-cent voucher, and I need to use it, so...
What if you really have to pick out, like, ooh, is this 18-cent voucher worth using on the penny slot, or should I wait until I have, like, a 24-cent voucher?
This seems bad, so... I think true penny slots can go into the ocean. I think that'll be the safest thing. As you know, I think I'm more of an old-school... three-reel slot enjoyer than most. But with that said, I mean, there's just so many licensed slots. You have, like, so much selection. I think you'd be foolish not to go with that as your always, honestly. There's always going to be new ones coming out. I mean, I think that's, like, pretty clear always. And we can do old-school three-reel slots once more.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. I think you're right. There's a structural issue here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like old-school quarter slots at all.
Right. I know you hate them, so...
I sort of like the idea of them, and then when I actually play them, I'm like, this sucks. I don't want boom or bust on any single line hit. I want to win 28 of my 30 cents back.
So I don't know if you remember. I think maybe we talked about this in episode 1 when we did our trip recap from my bachelor party. But we did slot golf there, and it took me like $60-some to get any hit at all on a three-reel slot.
Oh, man, that was so long ago.
Whereas, the more modern slots, you get a hit literally every time you spin. It's just usually less than what you bet.
Right.
But the point was you can't stop spinning until you get any hit, and it was legitimately like 25 spins for me to get hit on an old school three-reel slot. Finally, I got a cherry or whatever and got my bet back.
Yes.
Very funny.
That's true.
But yes, that's what you hate. I know.
Yeah, no, I hate that. I want 10%, 30% of my bet back every single time, but also like no chance at a real payout. That's what I like. Yeah, so I'm agreeing with you. I think I'm going once more, though, on the old school 25-cent slots, especially if you are including double top dollar, pinball. Like, those are good machines with funny little bonuses that are still mostly, three-reel machines. Even, like, most Wheel of Fortune machines are, like, quarter three-reel machines, right?
Is double top dollar, is that the one that you were, like, really needed to play, like, 3 or 4 trips ago, and you played it for, like, 10 minutes and then moved on? There's one of them with, like, different money things above the three-reel slot, and you're like, yeah, I gotta play this. I've been watching just tons of it on YouTube.
Oh, the slot players love it. I mean, it's a great bonus. It's, like, a fun bonus to watch, but, like, it's hard to get the bonus, and you're bleeding money the whole time. It's totally reliant on you hitting that bonus. I mean, Wheel of Fortune's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed. Total agreement. Terrible always once never on my part. I'm sorry. I'll try harder next time.
Well, we've already got episode 232's Always Once Never, and I think it'll be a banger, so look forward to that in a month.
Yeah, lots of detail for that one. Yeah, in a month, it's crazy. Like, that's kind of weird. But anyways, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have a little bit of news to talk about before we get into an epic mailbag question from listener Tom L., who we met last trip, Tacey.
Indeed.
The first bit of news, massive Atlantic City news that I think is incredibly relevant to everyone, is that my Hard Rock Unity accounts have been merged. So what happened was I tried to log on because I keep getting emails from Hard Rock saying, you've got Monday through Thursday comps, blah, blah, blah. So I tried to log on to actually see them, which has not worked ever since they went to Unity. Because as you know, I have both a Hard Rock Casino Atlantic City account and a Hard Rock Cafe account,
right,
as one does.
They were just confused because you were a top-level Hard Rock restaurant account owner and a bottom-level Hard Rock casino account owner.
Right. I do have more points right now on that card from a trip to the Hard Rock Cafe with my whole family than I do.
There you go.
Yeah.
As I said.
So I tried to log in and it said, like, didn't work. And then 5 minutes later, I don't know if by sheer coincidence or if somehow trying to log in triggered it, but I got an email 5 minutes later saying, hey, we've noticed that you have 2 separate accounts, which is exactly how the previous email started. The previous one was like, well, we'll get to it sometime, and I just didn't trust that it would ever happen. But no, it was like, we've merged your accounts. All your offers are in there. Just log in using this one account. This is now your account number. I was like, there's no way this is going to work. It's just going to have my, like, Hard Rock Cafe rewards points on there. There's going to be no casino offers. Everything was in there. I logged in. Room offers are in there. Free plays in there. Food credits in there. So I feel like I owe Hard Rock a trip now for doing this so seamlessly.
Yeah, I mean, you got to.
And by Hard Rock, I mean the Hard Rock Cafe in Baltimore when I'm in Baltimore this weekend.
Which we will get to.
Yeah.
But not yet.
We do have a thing to talk about Baltimore.
Yeah, see, there you go. We got to get there. We have some more marketing stuff to go through, else our sales team will be mad. So, last episode, we had some very exciting content, which was then removed from the episode about the Starbucks and the outlets being closed. So, I guess that is one piece of news that we didn't mention, but it is opening back up. It's being remodeled right now to be reopened as a licensed store. What is that? What does that mean?
So, having read a book about Starbucks for my MBA, Starbucks typically owns every store that they run, rather than franchising out, except for things like in airports and stuff like that. And then there's also stores that are like proudly serving Starbucks that you see in like hotel lobbies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So between those two things is a licensed store, which is actually just a Starbucks. You would never know the difference, but it's actually not owned by Starbucks, the company.
Is it like a franchise?
Yeah.
More or less?
So they're switching from like a Starbucks-owned store to a licensed store. So it'll reopen. I don't think anyone will notice any difference. It will totally just be a Starbucks. It will maybe be like you can't be earning stars on these drinks, so you can't use the app. I don't know. I know that there's some Dunkins where that's true, and it's always very annoying.
No, I mean, certainly in Starbucks as well, and casinos and stuff, they all the time are like, no, you can't use your stars here. Get out of here. No mobile ordering.
Casino Starbucks are licensed stores. You know, rest stops on 95, licensed stores, no points. That is the Starbucks news. We were very confident last episode that it was closed for good and not reopening.
No, you were very confident. I even said that I think it's going to reopen because I saw some comments about it on Twitter or something, and you're like, absolutely not.
No, we as a whole, as an entity, due for a win, were 100% confident it was permanently closed. And then I don't think it was even like 2 hours later when the news came out.
Right, which I sent you, and I'm like, by the way, it's like I said, it's reopening.
Yeah, so it was already a short episode, and then it became even shorter. As you can tell right now, we're trying to drag this episode out because it's going to be short. Nothing I love more than just, making myself edit.
So, speaking of Atlantic City, as of last episode, there were rumors you were going to be going to Atlantic City. So, you going to Atlantic City?
No.
You going to have a trip report for us next time?
Well, I might have a trip report, but it won't be Atlantic City. I kicked around a bunch of different ideas. Part of the problem was my Atlantic City plan was to go Thursday night, and then it turns out that my wife and my daughter have plans Thursday night, and my son is not involved in those plans. So someone needs to be home to take care of my son on Thursday night. So instead, I'm going to the Orioles game on Friday. So I'll drive down to Baltimore sometime in the middle of the day Friday, which gives me plenty of time, potentially, to go to the Horseshoe either before the Orioles game or after the Orioles game. The obvious plan seems to be me and our friend Dave go after the Orioles game.
Yep.
That will probably happen. I'm staying in a hotel. I can, go to the Horseshoe until dawn and then go sleep for 2 hours and drive home.
Yeah, if you can get to the Orioles game, you can just make Dave drive you back to your hotel afterwards.
That's true.
I mean, that's if you remember when I went with my buddy Zach, I drove him to his hotel, which is much farther away than your hotel is in Baltimore afterwards.
Yeah, I don't really want to walk to the hotel if it's like 2 a.m. Seems like a bad idea.
No, that's a little bit far too.
I have to say, though, you haven't made Horseshoe sound great in our previous discussions, so like...
You know what it's better than, though? Not gambling.
That's a good point. They do have one Wonder Woman gold machine.
On a Friday night, all the tables should be open. My problem is I always go at like noon on Tuesday or whatever, and it's like nothing is running. It has slot machines, and that's basically it, so...
Well, the tables will be open, but it will be right after an Orioles game. That is massively sold. They've got all the outfield upper deck sections open because it's Orioles Phillies. And I think it's going to be crowded for Horseshoe, and I think the table limits are going to be high.
Yeah.
So the odds I play a table game seem low.
Okay.
We'll probably go. We'll probably end up there, and I'll probably have a very similar trip report to your trip reports.
Which is that it's fine. No, it should be better for you. You'll have everything available will be available to you that you want to do. Like for me, every time I go, it's like, oh, all the tables are closed. This is stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're a slot player, Horseshoe should be fine at any time, more or less.
It's not like I need a restaurant or something, which they also don't have there.
They also don't have it. They have the pizza place in the food court. I think that's the only thing open. And then like the one restaurant downstairs. And then Gordon Ramsay steak also.
Gordon Ramsay steak.
Yeah, you shouldn't go there. Wasn't that good? I don't know why you and Dave would go to Gordon Ramsay steak anyway. But...
No, we'll be eating in the club level at the Orioles game if we can get through the line with all the hordes of Phillies fans.
Phillies fans there? Yeah. They have a better record than the Orioles even, right?
Yeah, I think they have the best record in baseball.
Yeah.
My follow-up question is, should I stop at the Hollywood Casino in Perryville either on the way down or on the way back?
So I've been several times.
Oh, really? I didn't think you had been.
No. Yeah, no, I've been several times. I stopped there either on the way to or the way home from Atlantic City on multiple occasions. I don't know. I mean, do you want to gamble? It seems like a weird place for you to go to because, as has been discussed a lot, you don't really enjoy gambling that much, and there's really nothing to do there. There's a Green Turtle there.
I think the Green Turtle is now just like generic sports bar.
Oh, is it? It tells you how recently I've been there. Usually when I go, there's like 1 or 2 blackjack tables open and sometimes the craps table, but you don't want any of that anyway, right?
Right.
It's worth swinging in. You know, they've got the soda fountains. You can just go and get your own soda. That's always nice.
I do like getting my own soda.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it lists the restaurant as the Sportsbook Bar and Grill. When you look at pictures, it does say Green Turtle, but it is not. I don't think it's a Green Turtle anymore. So I was like, oh, I could go, get lunch there. Maybe, who knows? I get up early. Maybe there's a Starbucks there. There's no Starbucks. There's no coffee shop. There's nothing.
There's Green Turtle, man. Or not Green Turtle.
I just want to see it, I think.
Yeah.
And it is right on the way. It's right. It is
right off the highway.
So I might stop in for like 30 minutes and play some slots.
Yeah, I think it's worth doing. That's usually what I did. I'd stop in for an hour, let's say, and play craps or blackjack or something, and then go about my life. I've also been to the Hollywood Casino in West Virginia.
Oh, nice. You have all sorts of Penn National, points and stuff? Probably not.
No, probably not.
It probably makes more sense to go on the way down.
I would think that you're not going to be in the mood to go at all on the way home. Yeah, I would think you should go on the way down if you're going to do it.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see. I probably won't go. I do want to see it, though.
Par for the course.
Like, when else am I just driving down 95 with no kids in the car?
It's very small. I mean, it was nice enough last time I went, but it was like 10 years ago, probably.
Yeah. I looked it up on vpfree2.com, and it said no good video poker.
Yeah, no, that's surely not. If you're the only game in town, why would you have good video poker?
The only game in town in Perryville, Maryland.
Yeah.
Competing directly with the Great Wolf Lodge.
Yep.
All right. We have, as we've mentioned, as we hinted at, a huge mailbag question for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Which we sort of hinted at last episode that we needed to do some preparation because it's such a meaty topic.
So Tom L. asks, I've generally been a Caesars player in Atlantic City. I don't go to Vegas too often, but enough that it's helped being in their ecosystem. The last few years I've switched primarily to Ocean for Atlantic City. While I don't like the player's card changes, I still like playing there, so it's basically been my home base. My question is, pretend you could completely start fresh with casino rewards programs. What would you pair up with the Atlantic City casinos along with the Vegas casinos? So basically he's asking, if you had to kind of map Atlantic City casinos 1-to-1 with Vegas casinos and put them in the same players card club, what would you do? And then he gives the example, like he would pair Ocean up with Mandalay Bay because they have similar vibes, slightly away from the action, but still close enough to the strip/boardwalk.
There's lots of things to consider here, which I did because you know that I'm an overthinker. First, are we sticking to the strip or like close to the strip casinos?
For the most part, yes, just because I'm more familiar with them. I mean, right now there is obviously like the one piece of overlap off the strip, which is Golden Nugget is paired right now in real life with Golden Nugget downtown, which I think is a pretty decent pairing.
It is.
Like Circo would be the other casino that you try to pair with something because that's kind of the like new casino downtown, but I don't think it's necessary beyond Golden Nugget.
Yeah, I agree. I also am trying to avoid just going with the 1-to-1s, like Harris to Harris and Golden Nugget to Golden Nugget.
I think Caesars to Caesars makes perfect sense, too, honestly.
It does. Feel free to map them 1-to-1 if you want, because I will certainly have plenty to say. I also sort of tried to think about it in terms of players card purposes, not just what is the most similar casino to this AC casino in Vegas.
When I was thinking about it, I was more like similarity, honestly.
I think that's good. I think we'll have good juxtaposition. You're going for similarity. I'm going for players club, like players who are going to Tropicana would also be attracted to this casino in Vegas because reasons. And as Tom L. says, Mandalay Bay and Ocean sort of away from the action a little bit. Ocean is on the end of the boardwalk, but I think that end of the boardwalk is now the heart of the action.
I'd say it's more in the action than Mandalay Bay is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Which is a property that I've never really liked, to be honest.
Love it.
Oh, really? I think it's awful. I think the casino floor is absolutely terrible.
I like it a lot.
I've never stayed in Delano. I would like to do that.
Delano's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, The casinos, for those who don't know what casinos are in Atlantic City, I ordered them in a weird order. South to north on the boardwalk, and then the marina.
Uh-huh.
Tropicana, Caesars, Bally's, Resorts, Hard Rock, Ocean, and then in the marina, Borgata, Golden Nugget, and Harrah's.
All right. Do we want to start with Tropicana, I guess? It's the first on your list.
Let's do it.
So I haven't fully thought this through, but so Tropicana is interesting. And when I think of Tropicana, I think of the casino that is the most geared towards people who don't necessarily want to do casino stuff in the casino, maybe tied with Harrah's.
Okay.
People are going for with Harrah's, I think it's the nightclub a lot more. With Tropicana, maybe it's the restaurants and other associated things.
I had the exact same note. Let's hear.
Okay. So if I'm thinking of what is a property like that in Vegas on the Strip, you could say something like Cosmo, but that's just so many levels above Tropicana. I don't think it works.
Right.
Honestly. I think the same sort of experience of people not really going to go to the casino, but like I said, Cosmo is just 100 times nicer than Trop. I don't know. What is the equivalent to that? That's kind of lower tier on the Strip. While I think about it, why don't you talk about your answer?
I think you've talked me into a different answer than I had.
Okay.
I had sort of kicked around Park MGM for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of food.
Yeah.
Less of a club scene.
Yep.
I think Park MGM is also nicer than Tropicana, although Park MGM is not as nice as it thinks it is.
Right.
As far as what is sort of on par niceness-wise with Tropicana, I was thinking Harrah's or maybe Treasure Island. MGM Grand was actually what I had.
Uh-huh.
Because MGM Grand is big and has this sort of sprawling thing, sort of like Tropicana. I don't really like anything in MGM Grand except the casino.
So I've never been there, but another possibility, I think, in terms of people who maybe aren't going for the gambling, but going for all of the associated stuff, you could say SLS is maybe a little bit like that too. Although I've not been to SLS since it's been SLS. I've only been to Sahara.
It's back to the Sahara now.
Oh, is it Sahara again?
Renamed the Sahara. Nobody's been, actually, since it's been, as far as I can tell. But I think the point you make, actually, in terms of both what is on par with Tropicana and what has a lot of non-gambling stuff, certainly right next door in the promenade, is the Link.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's certainly the same level of gambling, I think.
Right. I think it's sort of a similar vibe in terms of it's an old building. The casino's sort of spread out in different areas.
It's not a cool place to be, though,
it's
Trop is. I think Trop is kind of a cool place to be, and the Link is very much not a cool place to be.
I think it's a bit cooler now that it has all the restaurants and stuff right outside.
Come on, man. The IP was a cool place to be, but the Link, no.
Did you spend any time in the Link the last trip?
I went to the Dunkin' Donuts, but not really.
I didn't until the very last night, and we ate at the barbecue place out there, Virgil's, I think, and then played a little bit in the Link, and I was surprised how hopping it was. I think mainly because so many people are out there at all the restaurants and shops and stuff, and then they come right into the casino, and the casino feels much more troppy, I thought, than it used to. It used to feel like an airport hangar, very bright. Lots of white and open space, and it didn't feel like that at all to me. So I actually liked it a lot more this time, and it felt much cooler than it used to, I think. Although maybe it was just that one part of it. But that's what I'm going with, the Link.
All right.
Are we going with a group answer, or you...
No, we could go with separate answers. I still don't have a good answer, though. Like I said, I think SLS is interesting, maybe, but I've not been to SLS, honestly, so it's hard for me to say for sure. But it's the sense that, people are coming in to do, lifestyle stuff or whatever, just Tropicana a bit. Yeah, let's go with that. It's interesting. That's
Sahara?
One that I'm not going to use otherwise. Yeah, Sahara.
So Caesar's next. Very obvious answer.
Yeah, for me, I think it is really Caesar's. I mean, obviously, in terms of what it looks like, they're quite similar, given it's the same theme, the same company, literally the same name. I think it really is a good mapping, though. I mean, there's some nightclub stuff, there's some restaurants. I think for me, it would be hard to get away from Caesar's, but I'm interested to hear what you have to say, since you said you were trying not to do that.
Right. I mean, even in terms of for a loyalty program, my guess is most people who are going to Caesar's in Atlantic City, where they would want loyalty points, because the type of place they would want to gamble is Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. There's very one-to-one there. I mean, Caesar's Palace is certainly nicer than Caesar's Atlantic City, although I also think Caesar's Palace is not as nice as it thinks it is. But I did very much try to avoid staying within these very one-to-one. I even tried to avoid staying within the same loyalty program, although I don't think I successfully did that. The one that I am going with that's sort of similar to Caesar's Palace in theminess, but is much nicer inside and has much more going on, is Venetian.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Venetian is like levels above Caesars Atlantic City, like levels.
I can see
it's
that.
Not even close, but
I think that's a good one.
I could see where, yeah, if you're into Caesars, sort of the theme of Caesars in Atlantic City, that would be a nice combination.
I've just thought a bit, and I think for Tropicana, like, you could also make an argument for, like, Planet Hollywood of being more of this, like, lifestyle type thing, and I think I might be like that a bit better than SLS or,
yes,
or
I think
Sahara
that's a good
or
one.
Cosmo. I think I like Planet Hollywood for Trop, but Caesars, I'm going with Caesars, I think.
Yeah, PH is a very good one for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Caesars is Caesars, I went with Venetian.
Yep.
Bally's. Is this where you go downtown?
No, I didn't go when we were there last time, but for me, and maybe it's because like my brain's been locked into this, I stayed in what was then Bally's in like 2009, 2010, and it was like a pretty rundown, old, beat-up casino, kind of like Bally's in Atlantic City is. I know it's the Horseshoe now, but that's like where my mind immediately went, like somewhere that needs some work, that could use some love. And by all accounts, I think the Horseshoe is much better than the Bally's was back then. Like I said, when we went last year, I did not go into the Horseshoe, so
Me neither.
I haven't seen it since it's been redone, but that was my first instinct, is to go with Horseshoe, which is kind of the easy way out.
My note was that something downtown is probably the most similar to Bally's Atlantic City. I also did think Horseshoe, but I haven't been in there since it's been Horseshoe, so I didn't go for that.
I think you could say Harrah's as well, is like something with a similar type of vibe.
Yeah, I wanted to say New York, but I think they're very different. I don't know why I would have gone with New York. I think maybe the casino floor, like New York is not like a fancy casino floor by any means.
Mm-hmm.
But I think going down that thread, I think the type of gambler who goes to Bally's, and this might come off as mean, is someone who would go to Luxor.
Yeah, I think I can see that.
So like Luxor again, very themed, like not really a good comparison for Bally's. I think something like Harrah's is probably a lot better.
We need to bring back all the themed casinos in Atlantic City. Something we're really lacking.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Flamingo I think would make a lot of sense.
I think Flamingo is good too, just like it's similar to Harrah's. I mean, they're connected to each other or whatever, so...
I think Flamingo, like the casino floor, not saying that Bally's casino floor is nice, but Flamingo is like a little too not nice. Not that Luxor is great, but I think they have a similar sort of like, have been around for a long time. They're not bad per se, but they just feel very like there now. Luxor and Bally's both just there now. Put it in the Players Club marketing campaign.
Yeah. We're still here.
Yeah. I like it.
That's their slogan. All right, I'll go with Harrah's. I feel good about Harrah's. And you're going with what?
Sticking with Luxor.
All right. Resorts. This is a tough one for me. I think you could make an argument for like Park MGM. I think they have like kind of similar feels inside a bit. I don't know what's like resorts, but the thing that popped out to me, and I don't know if this is like on the Strip per se, I think it's pretty close, but it's somewhere I've spent a bunch of time. I think the Westgate feels pretty similar to the resorts to me.
Yeah, that's true.
The difference being resorts does not have a good sports book and Westgate does, but I think in terms of like how I feel on the casino floor, it's very similar. They're both kind of old school casinos, and I think that's what I'll go with. At least until you talk me out of it.
The first thing you said was Park MGM, and that's what I had.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to qualify, like, I'm not saying that Resorts is as nice as Park MGM. The casino floor is obviously much older at Resorts, but just in terms of, like, who's going to each, thinking about you've got Doherty's at Resorts and some other good stuff there.
There's not nearly enough old people at Park MGM to be the same as Resorts.
I did try to think, like, where are the old people
like
going?
Gold Coast.
Yeah. And Park MGM is probably not really it.
As has been described many times on You Can Bet on That, it's where like kind of unattractively dressed middle-aged people go. It's Park MGM, not old people.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know why they seem sort of like they fit for me, but
no. I like my Westgate answer. I'm sticking with it. I think it's the right choice.
I think Downtown Grand is actually casino floor-wise like a good fit, but nobody wants that connection. Nobody wants that loyalty connection.
The connection that absolutely nobody does for.
Yeah. The Plaza, maybe. But I'm sticking with Park MGM. Hard Rock. Obvious 1-to-1, except it's closing for years. It's Mirage.
Oh, that's true. I don't feel like they're that similar. Well, at least they're Mirage. I mean, who knows what the Hard Rock's going to look like and the Hard Rock.
It's going to look like the Hard Rock Atlantic City.
Yeah, it's going to just be bright as the sun inside.
It's going to be Atlantic City themed, actually.
Mm-hmm. so for this we have to go a little bit higher end, but like I don't know exactly where to go. I think something maybe like where you went with Caesars. I think Venetian is like an okay equivalent. It's like fairly nice. It's like pretty bright in there, I feel like.
It's very bright.
It's like a bit of its own thing, like among the surrounding areas, like Hard Rock is, I think, a bit. I think that's where my mind is going right now, but I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
You had mentioned Planet Hollywood for Tropicana. I think that's a decent comp.
Sure, there's an obvious theme resonance there, I think.
Yeah, used to be a restaurant with a bunch of memorabilia.
Mm-hmm.
Circa, I think, makes decent sense in terms of like vibe and stuff.
I think so too. Yeah, I think that would be a good one.
The one I actually went with, though, is Resorts World.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of Resorts World when I was thinking before, but I can see that.
Big, nice casinos that are, like you said, their own thing. I think in terms of the sort of vibe, Resorts World and Hard Rock make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I think I'll stick with my Venetian, but I think Resorts World is also good.
All right. Ocean.
The next two I think are pretty easy for me because I think I've made these comparisons many times on the podcast before, but we'll start with Ocean.
I also found them very easy. Let's see if we overlap.
I mean, I think I said from the very first time I stepped foot in Ocean when it was Revel that, oh my gosh, this reminds me of the Aria so much. It just looks inside. The feel is very Aria-like.
Yeah,
so
100%.
I have no reason to say that it would be anything but Aria, honestly.
I agree completely. I even think for loyalty purposes, it makes a ton of sense. I do like Tom L's argument about Mandalay Bay in terms of where they are. I also think their casino floor vibe is similar, like he says. But yeah, no, Aria and Ocean are just so similar for me, like the casino floor and everything.
All right. And then moving on to the next one, it's the same thing with Borgata and Bellagio. I just always in my mind, these two properties have somehow been linked, and I feel like there's a lot of similarity in terms of how these properties feel. They're both obviously very nice. So that's what I'll go with for Borgata. Yeah,
I didn't even think for more than 2 seconds about it. I mean, the one thing I thought about with Borgata is just in terms of its status in Atlantic City, you could argue for Wynn.
Mm-hmm.
But Borgata and Bellagio, which are, in the same Players Club, they feel not just very similar on nicest level, but the people who go there are going to, like, the flagship property. Like, though Bellagio is not the nicest property in Vegas, it is a destination, and people are like, I stay at Bellagio.
It's, like, very classy, right? In the same way I think Borgata is, like, very classy, especially compared to the other 8 Atlantic City casinos.
Yeah.
And like, while I agree Wynn is nicer than the Bellagio, I don't think it's quite as in lockstep with Borgata as Bellagio is.
Yes. I mean, Wynn feels like very high class and exclusive, even though obviously, anybody can go.
But thematically and how it feels, I don't think it has anything to do with any of the Atlantic City casinos, honestly.
Yeah. Except for the Atlantic Club because of the Wynn connection.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, those are easy. Golden Nuggets.
I said early on that I think it's appropriate that it's linked with only one property right now in Vegas, and it's the Golden Nugget downtown. If I had to go on the Strip, though, I don't know what's like a not great casino, like the Link or something.
I've already used the Link, but I did consider the Link. And I considered the same question that you asked about resorts is where would a bunch of old people go?
Right.
Golden Nugget does make a ton of sense because obviously they're thematically very similar, but also like Marina and downtown, they're
both off the beaten path. Exactly.
But where I actually went with is Harrah's.
Okay.
Which I think is fine. It feels like a generic answer. Like I feel like Harrah's is just sort of generic answer for everything.
Flamingo would even be good too.
Yeah. Flamingo feels a little more like party vibe, maybe just because it's pink.
It's a bit brighter in there, I feel like, than Golden Nugget and Harrah's. So
I'm sticking with Harrah's. Where did you go with for Golden Nugget?
I'll stick with Golden Nugget.
Okay.
If you make me go on the Strip, I'd say the Link.
Yeah, okay. Very last one. Harrah's.
Yeah.
Do you say Harrah's?
No, because I think I already said Harrah's for something else, didn't I? Bally's, maybe?
Yeah.
You haven't been recording my answers? I don't remember either, but I kind of get like Harrah's, maybe more so Showboat when it was open. I get in both of those properties vibes of the Rio, maybe a bit more than the other properties.
Yeah, Harrah's AC. I remember the first time I went to Harrah's, or maybe the first time I went to Rio in Vegas, I was like, oh boy, this is Harrah's. Like, this is Harrah's Atlantic City, like Mardi Gras themed, very similar. Although, again, Showboat was even more Mardi Gras themed.
Yeah, Showboat was even more. But I think Rio is maybe good. I mean, Rio's like kind of seems a bit more tragic than Harrah's AC does in some ways, but...
Yeah, I didn't want to be so mean to say Rio for something. I mean, I agree 100% that they're very similar casino-wise, but again, like, nobody wants that loyalty combination.
I mean, maybe something like MGM Grand. It's just like, okay, they're both like extremely generic casinos that no one's like ever excited to go to, but it's like, hey, I'm going to a casino in a big town with other casinos. This will be fun.
There are MGM Grand loyalists.
That's ridiculous. MGM Grand is the most generic casino.
100%. There are people who are like, it's the biggest hotel, but probably not anymore, but it sort of has this like, Vegas is Caesars and MGM Grand. These are like the name brands. And I say an MGM Grand. I know a guy who loves MGM Grand. I don't know if he still goes to MGM Grand every time he goes to Vegas or not, but that's like his home base. I like that pick actually a lot. Mm-hmm. I thought Treasure Island, just in terms of like a little bit lower on the totem pole, but still like fun, not really themed, but I don't know, vibe is sort of there.
Treasure Island might be good for resorts too, honestly. I think it would be.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I think that'd be pretty good too. But
yeah. So
it was fun.
That's it. That's the 9 casinos.
I have no idea. If you asked me what I picked for all 9 of these now, I wouldn't know. But
me neither, and I have them in bold on my doc, but I changed several of them, so I don't even know. So I'll learn in editing what I picked. Yeah. And if anybody is studiously taking notes, because there will be an exam on this later, I'm going to put it in bright space, which is what I'm doing with my...
I will fail it. It'll be good.
Yeah, so...
That was fun.
Yeah, great question, honestly, Tom. I was trying to, like... figure out how to parse it out. I was scratching my head about it a little bit, but I think with doing both the sort of like what is the one-to-one comparison and where do you want your loyalty points to go between the two properties, I think was a fun way to do it.
If we wanted to, which I don't really, we could go back and be like, oh, it would be like the best strategic partnership for all of these casinos or whatever. But
no, that's too much. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Some things that didn't get mentioned in Vegas, by the way, Excalibur.
There's nothing like Excalibur. We need more themed casinos. Same thing, New York, Paris. Like, they're all just too themed for Atlantic City.
Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you took Excalibur exactly as it is now, maybe made the hotel itself smaller, and dropped it on the boardwalk, where would you rank it? Like, how often would you go to Excalibur Atlantic City?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's a hard question, but it would be on par with resorts, I think, in terms of, like, niceness, in quotes. It would be above only Bally's, maybe? Does that sound right to you?
I think tier-wise that sounds right, but for some reason, the vibe of Excalibur just feels perfect for Atlantic City to me. And I feel like I would go all the time.
So part of the thing is like, they have like $5 craps and stuff at Excalibur, and like nowhere has $5 craps in Atlantic City. So it's hard to know if you can say like how it would fit in Atlantic City.
I would love an Excalibur-type casino in Atlantic City. Not Luxor. I know Luxor is like supposedly a little nicer than Excalibur, but like Excalibur just is what it is. It's a freaking castle. It's castle themed all throughout. It's a bunch of like 22-year-olds playing craps. Yep. I don't know. It sounds like it would fit right in on the boardwalk and be a good time.
Yeah, would be fun.
We didn't use Paris for anything.
Yeah, again, it's too themed. New York is just too themed. I think it's hard to link them with things.
Casino Royale, we could have dropped the bomb on somebody.
Yeah.
If we wanted to be really mean to like resorts.
If there was like a really classy, like smaller hotel, we could have said like Cromwell or whatever, but yeah, no.
Yeah, we also didn't drop the Circus bomb on anyone.
Yeah, that's just rude.
The Strat, which I don't think I've ever set foot in the Strat.
I went last trip. It was fine. Yeah. It was totally fine.
Encore feels very just the same as Wynn, so there's no reason to include it. Same with Palazzo.
It's like too much red for anywhere in Atlantic City, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like red is the color in there in a way that it is very much not in any casino in Atlantic City.
Palms, I feel like we could have used if we're going off strip a little bit.
Yeah, Palms was kind of another generic casino, I feel like, on the inside.
Yeah. I liked Palms, though. I mean, I mainly liked the Palms because Tim Ho Wan was amazing.
Tim Ho Wan was incredible, yeah.
Virgin, I've never been in since it changed to Virgin.
I haven't been there since it was Virgin. I mean, I loved it when it was Hard Rock, but I have not been since it was Virgin.
Other than Golden Nugget, we didn't get into the Fremont stuff.
I don't think any of those are great links with anything other than maybe Golden Nugget or maybe Bally's.
Yeah, I mentioned Downtown Grand. We didn't mention El Cortez.
Where we will both be staying on our next trip to Las Vegas, surely.
Yeah, which is another casino that if you put it like in the marina, I feel like I would go all the time.
It's like if you put it in the marina, it would be in Golden Nugget because
that's a good point. That's true. I guess we already have that.
Right.
All right. Fun time.
All right. Well, if you want to reach out to us or any of our other listeners, you can do so at our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/do-for-a-win. Find all of our great content at doforawin.com. Reach out to Craig on Twitter at doforawin or me at Kyle Laskin, and send Craig questions to doforawin@gmail.com. Any last words? I guess we need to get ready to record another episode now.
Yeah, I have to save all my words for episode 2 of today's doubleheader.
Yeah.
Single admission doubleheader. Actually, that's not true at all. It's going to be 2 separate.
Oh, no. 2 admissions. No, we're not putting this out in one episode. That would be like a single admission doubleheader.
Right.
But, well, anyway, if you guys want to know about my trip I took to Colorado to Blackhawk, you need to stick around for episode 231.
Probably in 2 weeks from when you're listening to this, because...
And be in our top tier of the Patreon.
That would be the real Patreon. Like, we record 2 episodes at a time.
Right.
And you can get one of them 2 weeks early if you're in the Patreon.
Yeah. No, that involves just too much editing for you. We can't do that.
So much. No, I can't do it. Although 2 weeks off between.
Yeah.
I mean, a month off between. Only editing once a month.
All right. So, yep, thank you guys very much for listening, and I assume the next episode will be out in, like, the end of next week or something like that. All right, now I'm done. I'm done with this episode. I refuse to participate anymore.